Hello everyone, welcome back to the .NET Office. In this video, we are going to see how to prevent our Angular application from the cross-site scripting attack. So we will see like how generally when user give the any script to our DOM element, then how we can prevent it from the those kind of the attacks. So let's see. So like for an example, when we are going to create any web application, either in different languages or in the Angular, then security is basically an important part for that application where we need to secure our web application from the various attacks. One of them is this cross-site scripting attack, or we can say XSS attack. So let's understand what is the meaning of this cross-site scripting. So if we talk about the cross-site scripting attack, is basically it's a kind of a injection attack. For an example, you have an application and that application contains the contact form, or we can say the registration form. Now I'm the user, and when I'm trying to give as a untrusted data, or for an example, I'm the hacker or the attacker, and so what I do, for an example, in the comment section, I give the script, and like what kind of the script we give like script alert XSS attacks, like any kind of the script when we give. So it is basically a malicious script that is injected to our contact form. Now after giving this, now in that case what will happen, it will open a pop-up, and behind the screen the website will send the request to the attacker computer with the current system cookies information or any other crucial information which we have in our system to the attacker system or the hacker system through this script. So, and even when this request, like your cookies or the information is going on the attacker system, you will not able to recognize it like this is also happening, like this attack is happening. You will not able to realize it because it is happening in the background. So that is basically a XSS attack. Generally this cross-site scripting attack happen on the DOM element. What is the DOM element? That is the object data model. Like we have the input field, we have the text area field, kind of the things. So it happened through the DOM element. So to prevent our website from this kind of attack, we need to check the request contain any script or not. If this request contain any kind of a scripting, then we have to handle with kind of a condition or anything. Now the question is how we can prevent our Angular application using these kind of the attacks. So there are two ways. One is the bypass security, and another way like we can use the inbuilt method that is called the safe HTML. So first see like how we can use the bypass security, or we can say XSS escaping. So for that one, what we have to do, now for an example, let's understand it with an example. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and this is the Angular application. Now here, what I'm going to do, like currently we don't have any code, and when I run this application, we see on the browser like Angular 15 application is message, it is printing. Now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a one variable, and that is the username, and this username I'm going to assign like the empty value. So after assigning this empty value here, now let's go on the browser, sorry, in the HTML side. In the HTML side, I will take one label, I will take another is the text area, and the one paragraph, and that is the paragraph, and I'm printing the username using the interpolation. So from this code you can see we are using the two-way data binding. And how we can say that? Because we are using the ng model. Now in this ng model, like whatever we are going to give in the text area, like what it will do, it will print the same thing here. So now let's understand it within like on the browser. So this is the text area. If I'm going to give anything here, it is printing here as well. So like we can say it is a two-way data binding. Now here, what if I will give the cross-site scripting? For an example, like here, if I'm going to give this kind of a script. So here, if I will give any script like So if I will give inside this one any message we can give. So let's give. Now for an example, I have given this script and you can see here. So in that case, what is happening? It is printing as it is. Since we are using here interpolation, through that one, what is happening? It is printing this as it is. So now now for an example, if the hacker intentionally has given such kind of the script, what will happen? And like for an example, you have this command form. And after this one, you click on this button. So what will happen in behind that? Your your cookies or any other important information is going to the hacker system. You will not be able to see that. So now the thing is how we can prevent it in our application. Since here we are using the interpolation, that you can see we are printing this data using the interpolation. So when we run this code using the interpolation, so what is happening? It is print as it is we are giving in the text area. So this process is generally called the contextual escaping. So now how we can prevent our Angular application from this one? So what we have to do, we have to use the Angular input sanitization. And how we can do that? So now instead of this interpolation, what if I use the inner HTML attribute? So inner HTML, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this property here. So what I'm using now, I'm not using the the interpolation. We are using the inner HTML. Now let's save it and go on the browser. And currently, like if I'm going to give anything, it is printing as expected. Now only the thing is, instead of the interpolation, we are using the inner HTML attribute. Now the next thing, if I'm trying to give any scripting. Now for an example, see, I have given the script, but it didn't print. Here you can see it didn't print that that script line which we have given. Here you can see. Now even instead of writing, if you will try to write like for an example .NET Office, and when you give this, and when you will try to write the script, it is not printing that. And the reason is because this Angular application through this inner HTML DOM element is itself a sanitized. Done by the Angular application, and it don't allow us to give any like to print such kind of the things. Now if you will go in the inspect element, and if you will see here, go into the console, here you will see sanitizing HTML stripped some content. So basically this inner HTML automatically understand the script tag as the unsafe tag, and it remove it and don't print it here. So this process is called the basically sanitization in Angular. Now, so basically like just like this one, this inner HTML, we have the another tag also, like we can use the style, like style attribute, or the href attribute, like basically a hyperlink attribute. So those tags also able to analyze or to recognize that script tags. So this is the way. Now the another way is like currently we have done in this way. Now for an example, here I have this inner HTML as an username. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this particular line of code. Now here what I will do, I will use the sanitization function, and basically sanitization function, like with that what it helps us again to prevent our application from cross-site scripting attack, and we can use Angular built-in function that is called the sanitization function, like bypass security trust HTML function. So let's understand it with an example. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a one like here currently it is an empty. Now instead of this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the safe HTML, and this is the safe HTML type. And since we are using Angular 15, so we have to give the default assign value, and this safe HTML is basically sit inside the platform browser. Now what is the safe HTML? So the safe HTML is basically a marker interface that gives security to our web application from the untested script execution on the browser. So we have taken one variable, the type of that is the safe HTML. Now here what I'm going to do in ng on init, I'm going to take a one variable, and that is the input. And here first let's take .NET Office. Now the next thing, here what I'm going to do, this dot username is equal to this. Now next thing, like in the constructor we have to take an object, and that is the private, and let's take it the object name as sanitize, and the type of this will be the DOM sanitizer. So basically this DOM sanitizer help us to like prevent our DOM element from the such kind of the XSS attack. So now here what I am going to do, this dot username equal to this dot sanitizer. Now it has one method, bypass security trust HTML. So what it is saying, it bypass the security and it give the give the trust kind of a content to our DOM element. Now inside this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the input here. Now let's save it and go on the browser. So we can see currently it is printing the .NET Office, because here it is giving the correct data, that's why it is printing. Now instead of this, here what if I will give the untrusted data or any script. So if I will paste it and go on the browser, see it is not printing that data. So basically what is happening here, we have taken the one is the safe HTML and the DOM sanitizer object, and what it do, it basically recognize like any value which we are going to give is a like trusted text or not. If it is not, then it bypass that particular input whatever is coming from the user. So these are the ways through that, like what we can do, we can prevent our application from XSS attack. So this is the way we can do. So what we have seen two ways. One, like if we are using any inner HTML style or href tag, so Angular automatically prevent our application from that. And another is the sanitizer function that we can implement using the safe HTML. So that's it for this video. If you have any question or doubt, please comment. Thank you.